Hi there. If you've ever wanted to publish on Audible, you might want to watch this video first. My name's Joey and I'm the author of From Dilemmas to Decisions. I published my ebook last year. When I initially started producing my audiobook, I was thinking, of course, I'm going to publish with Audible. So you might be asking, why hesitate? This is the decision-making process that I go through in the audiobook that I'm thinking about publishing. Let's get into it. And if you're not interested in seeing me work through my process, you can skip through the timestamp where I go into the rationale of my decision and what my final decision is and see whether that resonates for you. But for everyone else that wants to see how I work through the decision-making process, let's go. If you want to follow along, you can get this decision-making template from the link in my bio. Just put in the free code and you can get it for free. There are some extra prompts that I have been experimenting with. But in terms of going through this actual decision, I'm going to use only the stuff that is in the book so you can follow along. So the template starts with the end in mind. In this decision-making process, you go through and you use this template to deliberate, think about all the options and to think through them. And then you will also go through it when you're going through and choosing and finalizing the option that you want. So those are actually two separate stages. A lot of people treat them as one stage. And then you'll look at this filled-in template again later on when you're reviewing the decision. Sometimes it's just like a once review thing and you just leave it. Sometimes you come back to it multiple times. For example, in terms of making decisions around which way I'm going to take my business, I will often come back to that decision monthly to basically say like, okay, well, I decided to do this. Hey, you need to put out the audiobook because you've got a lot of people saying they want it. Why have you been off creating TikToks? So if you're wondering why the template seems to be a little bit back to front, it's because it's designed with the review and the reflection in mind, which is done multiple times in the process, rather than the deliberation, which is more of a one-off thing. Okay, so with that in mind, we've got these details which tend to be filled out last in the deliberation, the review date, the rationale, why we're selecting this option, so the deliberation usually starts with this options shortlist. So I will list out some of the options, and as I deliberate, sometimes more options become clearer to me. So I can add to this shortlist as I go along. So what options did you consider? We'll ignore the but not choose part. We'll just put all the options here. When I have the chosen option will go to the top. So, all right, so publish with Audible. Don't publish with Audible. Before I started nerding out about decision making, I'd often stop at these binary decisions. It's like you either publish or you don't kind of thing. However, I know that's a bias of our brains that we really like to just think of things in black and white, binary, yes or no. So I try to push myself to come up with at least 3 options. So publish with Audible, don't publish with Audible. There's always an option to defer. So initial release and an indie initial release, publish with Audible, based on demand, let's say. I'll just say publish with Audible, reassess publishing with Audible. Publishing with Audible. All right.
If you enjoyed this video, you may also enjoy this playlist. Here, I break down my entire decision-making process. To make it concrete, I use my decision on whether to publish on Audible as an example. Just click here to view the playlist or click here to skip to the meat of how I make the decision. Thanks for watching, and here's to living with less anxiety and fewer regrets.